Nestled in the rocks, you can pair o'er the docks in those warm fire nights. And shimmering harbor lights, time just fades away as I look o'er the bay to what I guess ain't much but a lonely place in my heart. I grew up in Corner Brook, Newfoundland. I lived there for 19 years. Worked at the mill. I got laid off at the mill, and just about a week later I got recruited into the military. And I joined up, and a week later I was in Cornwallis. And after about a year in the military, I bought a guitar. And prior to that, I didn't really play anything. I was listening to some Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan records, which was a lot of guitar. And so I bought the guitar and basically started playing songs that I liked, 3-chord wonders. And just learned to play G, D, and C. And you can play pretty much anything with that. And I just started writing songs about my experiences back home. Well, I just did the record in January of 2006. Released it in August. It was recorded in New Brunswick with producer Lloyd Hansen. It was a collection of 10 songs that I'd written over the years. Basically, it was focused towards Newfoundland songs. The name of the CD is called Up-Along, which is a term that Newfies refer to when they talk about Canada and Ontario, or not Ontario, but United States and stuff. So when they move away from Newfoundland, they refer to being gone up along. So that was my experience of going up along. Sort of was the genesis of most of those songs. And I would have to say that what inspired me was just going home in the summer times and meeting with my friends who were back there and family who would come home for their holidays as well, because everybody pretty much that I knew were living up on the mainland. We'd always meet up back home in Newfoundland in the summer times. And so the inspiration is really just from living up along. Here's a song that I wrote. That's every little line in it is something I experienced. I've pulled up an anchor, a black whale was watching. I watched my church burn while the sad choir sang. And I've seen many cars with the trunks all packed tightly, a farm, a dead factory, and an old empty plane. And I've seen a bull moose in the back seat of a Buick. I talked to a man who did nothing but blame. And I've swam with the salmon where children were playing. I watched a large ship dumping fish in the bay. I played on an old seiner, its stern slipping under. I played on a new highway that nobody's used, of elderly parents and children away. And I know most of the songs in that CD are my own experiences and things that I've noticed or felt. And I think people would like that just for that fact. Also, the songs are recorded in a simple way. You know, they're not too overproduced. They're musical. They have nice melodies, and it sticks to the roots. You could call it roots music. Here's a funny little song that sort of deals with that. While out upon the waters blue, some wonderful sights I've seen. The fishing boats cruising by, some red, some blue, some green. Out upon the bay they dance, they sway, their motors make them free. As they chug on by, all the seagulls cry and the skippers wave at me. Well, I got me green salt meat and beans, I've got me bread and tea. Now there's nothing I want in this world but to be down by the bay. I've packed my bags and made my way, I drove all night and day. But the only thing that keeps me sane is a day out on the bay. Now the tide does run with the rising sun, and the icebergs make their way from the Greenland scene to the warm Gulf Stream for the summer fun soiree. All the birds they play, all the fish are gay, all the whales they swim with glee. Well, I just I play the guitar. I don't like practice the guitar, and it's always on hand. And I'm always, you know, when I come home from work, I grab the guitar and play for 20 minutes, and get up in the morning, play a little bit before I go to work. And I think that's the key to learning how to play a guitar is to, you know, keep it always around you, and just pick it up when you feel inspired to pick it up. And if you don't feel like playing, don't play. You can wait a few days, and if you're writing, if you want to write songs, well, you can pick it up, and you know, you get inspired by strumming and thinking about things that you went through, and you may pick up a little progression or something. And I just generally put my guitar over and grab a piece of paper, and I start jotting down notes on the back of the guitar. And then I'll put that down and repeat what I did musically, and sometimes I'll write it here. And then usually, well, not usually, but a lot of times it'll turn to nothing, but sometimes you get a really good tune out of it, one that you can share with your friends. On the bay, David on the Bay.